What are the 10 must-have fragrance houses for anybody to have in their collection? Stay tuned to find out next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose. And again, excuse any noises you hear because the men are still working on my roof today, fixing some leaks. So, all right, today's topic is going to be, actually, what are the 10 must-have fragrance houses that I think everybody needs in their collection? Of course, this list is not exhaustive. There are many other great fragrance houses, and many actually I wanted to include on this list. But you know what? Someone had asked me about this. I had to come up with 10. So here it is, 10 from my personal collection. So I'm not just picking ones at random that aren't actually here. These are ones that I stand by because they're in my collection. And I'm gonna give you a sample fragrance or show you a sample from each one. So let's go right into this. 10 niche fragrance houses I think everybody should have. First, this is Initio Prive. Of course, Initio, the French niche house, which is kind of a sister house to Parfums de Marly. What can I say? They've got so many great fragrances like Oud for Greatness. They have the Oud for Happiness that just came out, and a lot of people are talking about that. Side Effect, and this one, of course, Musk Therapy, one of their newer releases. It's just a great quality house. It's a little bit more on the expensive end, but when you want really good quality and consistent performance, Initio is a great house. And by the way, these 10 are in no particular order. I'm just picking 10 and going through them. The 9th fragrance house, of course, on anybody's list is going to be Xerjoff. This, as you know, you've heard me talk about, is Oudin. This is the one fragrance I picked, by the way, that if I had to keep one fragrance for life, this would be it. But Xerjoff, again, the Italian niche house that just has such a wide variety of fragrances, and they're all bangers. They're all beast mode. They all project. They last a long time. They get compliments. It's just, you know, if you don't have a Xerjoff in your collection, you're really missing out. All right, number 8. This one's going to be probably maybe a little bit different for some of you, and this is the Mexican-American niche house, Arquist. This is the fragrance L. I've talked about this a lot. One of my favorite fragrances. I call it a dirty barbershop fougere. It's like a sexy, dirty kind of, man, I love it. Anyways, Arquist, they have Sydney Rock Pool, they have Non-Bon. You know, they just knock it out of the park when it comes to really strong, just in-your-face fragrances that are going to make you stand out above the rest. Some of them require, you got to have some strength and a little courage to wear them, like this one. I know some people that L to them is it's just too daring or it's too out there. For me, I love it. But, you know, Non-Bon to me is one of the great beast mode fragrances of all time. If you haven't tried Non-Bon, so Arquist, great house. You should have it in your collection, at least one of them. Next, we're going to go with the French niche house, Fragrance Dubois. This is, of course, New York Intense. One of them, again, has a similar vibe to me as L. It's this kind of almost like old school 80s, a little bit dirty, a little bit Drakkar type feel to it. I get so many compliments with this one. But Fragrance Dubois, again, so many different variations. And by the way, their oud, which they sustainably grow and farm, is actually used by a lot of the top niche fragrance houses. So they're like the supplier for example, to Xerjoff, who buys their oud from Fragrance Dubois. So, I mean, you can tell that anything they do with oud is going to be great. I love London oud. Just one I was wearing the other day. So many great fragrances. They have the cannabis fragrance for those of you who like that cannabis smell. But Fragrance Dubois, check it out. Great fragrance house. All right, so now we are at my 6th house and one of the newer ones in my collection in the last year. This is the Italian niche house, Peccato Originale. I am in love with this house. Silvia Monti, who's the kind of the founder, the owner, the perfumer. She's a pharmacist by trade, has this incredible background, and everything is just so well blended and so unique. Nothing smells the same in her releases. You've got this one, of course, is Mastro del Cuore. You have gourmand fragrances. You have Antidoto, which is just more of a kind of like a fresher fragrance. A lot of them have kind of tea or mate in it, so it has these type of green feel to it. Great to wear all year round, and of course, great quality. All right, coming in, I'll put it number 5. Those of you can recognize this automatically, Parfums de Marly. This is Habdan, one of the, to me, the beautiful, most great fall gourmand fragrances. Habdan, one of just the absolute beast mode fragrances of all time. I put that on and it lasts all day. That's pretty much true of almost everything that Parfums de Marly does, whether it be Herod, Leighton, Greenlee, there's just, then they have the exclusive versions of the different original releases. Parfums de Marly probably is the one fragrance that everybody needs to have in their collection. It's, as far as the niche world goes, and because there's so many, they do a lot of freshies very well. So if you haven't tried that house, really there's one in their collection that's absolutely for you because there's such a good variety. All right, coming in number 4, I'm gonna go with Diptyque. Diptyque is something I've only added into my collection in the last, say, 6 months, and it's the French niche house. Yeah, they're kind of I guess at this point, semi-niche, they're not designer, but they have their own freestanding stores in malls throughout the world now. But they have some of the great French classic original fragrances. I like classic French perfumery, and they do it so well. This is Philosophos, the Eau de Toilette version, which is, to me, maybe the most classic fig fragrance of all time. And so if you like that, they do a lot of fragrances very well with cedar and amber, just high quality. Needs to have something, again, because they have such a wide variety that you can find something for your collection. All right, number 3, one of the first ones I ever got in the niche world. This is Ormond Jane. This is, of course, Zizon, which is no longer available in the US, unfortunately, so I am like really holding onto this bottle and using it very sparingly because I don't want to waste it. This is, to me, one of the best vetiver fragrances of all time. But Ormond Jane, it doesn't get more classic British niche fragrancy. It's like James Bond, the royal family, all rolled into one. Everything is so classic. It's just so perfect, whether it be Ormond man, Ormond woman. There's, again, the amount of fragrances they have that just, gives you a selection. There's Sampaquita for women, which is a beautiful, beautiful feminine fragrance. So I love their collection. I love their selections. I love how it just encapsulates that kind of British motif. I'm kind of looking a little bit British today. So try Ormond Jane out. You need one of theirs in your collection if you don't have it. All right, I'll go to number 2, Montale. Montale, for the price, these 100 milliliter bottles are roughly $180 US, and for the performance you get, and probably they're the most prolific of all the niche houses. They come out with probably 10 new fragrances a year, sometimes more. Where some fragrance houses do one every couple years, these guys are banging out stuff left and right. And it's always high quality. Not always my favorite. I don't love everything they do, but I like it when a house gives me a ton of variety and selection, and Montale has the most. So if you want to get into the niche world, you're going to find something from Montale that absolutely is going to fit your bill. This is Oud Forest. I would call this a fresh, kind of easy to wear oud fragrance, but it is still oud, and you gotta like oud to wear that one. And then finally I'll have as my number 1, again, it's not in any particular order, but I'm gonna say Masque Milano from Italy. I love Masque Milano. I love that they give you this 30 ml option, so it's a little bit cheaper, gives you an entry into the niche world. This is Mandala, one of the beautiful green incense fragrances, I think, of all time. It's just so intoxicating every time I wear this. I can't stop smelling myself. I'm just like smelling my arms, smelling my clothes all day long. Mandala, one of my favorite personal fragrances of all time. So there you have it, my 10 must-have. Again, there's many more. I didn't mention Amouage, which is, very easily in this list, but I had to pick 10, and it's fun to kind of cut it off somewhere. Let me know what ones you guys think that I should have put in here, like Amouage or many other, there's so many other great houses that I unfortunately could not put in because this is only 10. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe because I appreciate and of course can always use your support. And I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks, peace, and love.